These upcoming games stand out not because of guaranteed success, but because of bold ideas and unexpected ambition. These projects carry long-shot potential, where creative risks could lead to something special. Let's check them out.
Hello.
Hello.
We're House. You might know us because of our Goose game. And we're here today to show you around our new game.
Big Walk is a cooperative multiplayer adventure built around teamwork and communication between close friends. Players move together through a large open environment and rely on online co-op to progress through challenges and puzzles. Gameplay depends on talking, in-game chat, and interactive tools and toys used to stay connected. Certain situations limit speech, pushing players to find new ways to communicate. Time spent casually interacting with friends is part of the core gameplay.
Close.
Hello.
Or far away.
Hello.
Or in a tunnel.
Hello.
Or over a walkie-talkie.
Hello. Over.
Or behind soundproof glass. In a situation like this, where you can't hear each other, you'll need to find other ways to communicate. So we've given you lots of ways to point and gesture,
Oh, there they are.
and plenty of tools to stay in touch when you're out of earshot. And if you can't use voice chat, or you just don't feel like it, we've also made a proximity text chat system, so you can play the entire game that way as well. Hello.
The game is set in a big open world that we've filled with all kinds of stuff. To see it all, you'll need to go for a big walk. Exploring as part of a group is a special feeling. Our chat system makes it important to stick together, so navigating the world of Big Walk requires lots of teamwork and talking.
Oh, that's that like pass.
As you explore, you can split up and go off on your own adventures, or even lose each other accidentally. When you're apart, you won't be able to talk face to face, and so finding a way back together isn't always straightforward. If you get lost in the bush, don't worry. You'll find plenty of ways to stay in touch and find each other again. Hello? If anyone can hear me, please shoot up a flare. Thank you.
This building behind me has a challenge in it. Completing challenges like these is the way you make progress through the game. They're all about teamwork, and they're all a little bit different. A lot of them are designed so that you find funny and surprising new ways to talk. You might need to do some miming, or come up with a special code, or even sing to each other.
Okay, so you want to find a speaker that's like ooh wah wah, ooh wah wah, ooh wah wah.
They're not all about talking though. There's a bit of platforming in there, some sports, and some weirder stuff too.
Stop.
Our challenges are open-ended, and leave plenty of room for you to do things your own way. Like the rest of the game, challenges in Big Walk are about the joy of muddling through things together.
So that's Big Walk. There's heaps to see and do, but there's also lots of room to just hang out in between. We think there's some real magic that happens when you forget your plans and find yourselves doing something else entirely.
You can sit and watch the sunset,
Tell stories as you wait for the night to pass.
Go dancing!
or you could steal your friend's binoculars and kick them into the ocean.
Oi.
Sorry.
We hope you enjoyed this little tour and got a sense of what we think is so special about this game. We made Big Walk to be a nice way to hang out with your friends in a video game, and we hope you like playing it as much as we do. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
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 From those we love most of all.
Reanimal is a horror adventure game where players control a brother and sister working together to rescue missing friends and escape a hostile island. Gameplay supports solo play and local or online co-op, with a shared camera that keeps both characters on screen. Players move by boat and on land, avoid threats, and solve situations through coordination. Survival depends on timing, positioning, and cooperation rather than combat under constant pressure.
So it is not difficult for us to picture the sort of life you are all leading. I know you won't forget us. Good night, and good luck to you all.
Felt That Boxing is a single-player boxing game built around arcade-style fights using physics-driven controls. Players control Ezra Fuzz E. Wright and progress through a tournament structure made up of staged bouts and training activities. Combat involves punching, dodging, blocking, timing attacks, and managing movement as a felt puppet fighter. Between matches, training mini-games unlock new moves and abilities, while exaggerated super moves and a chaos mode alter how fights play out during matches.
Don't waste my time!
Save us, Fuzzy, or we'll die!
Attaboy. Attaboy. Eat bread, crap, burnt toast, carb load! This meat ain't gonna beat itself! I've been taking dumps in there all day! Jab, jab, jab!
Long Gone is a single-player narrative adventure taking place in a deserted suburban neighborhood decades after collapse. Players move through overgrown streets using platforming, enter fully 3D houses, and interact with hundreds of objects left behind. Gameplay relies on puzzle solving, item investigation, and environmental interaction rather than combat, with zombies acting as obstacles to outthink. Progress comes from inspecting, collecting, combining, and using items to uncover connected stories tied to former residents.
It looks like you're headed for Marketland.
Tides of Tomorrow is a narrative adventure that takes place on the ocean planet Ayland, where player decisions and community actions shape progression. Players sail between floating platforms, gather resources, and interact with characters whose attitudes change based on choices made. The game links stories across players, allowing friends or streamers to influence events indirectly. Survival systems, dialogue decisions, and shared consequences drive how situations unfold over time during each play session.
You're my ocean thief, huh? My guard said one of your lot was involved. Whether it's you or some other seaweed-brained idiot, I don't care. All that matters to me is how you're gonna pay me back.
Parasite Mutant is a biohorror RPG using a retro third-person semi-fixed camera and an ATC combat system. Players control Nova, a psionic agent sent to an abandoned island city filled with hostile mutants. Combat mixes real-time movement with timed turn-based actions, requiring dodging, gauging energy, and chaining attacks. Progress includes puzzle solving, equipment upgrades through modules and plus points, and replay options supported by a New Game Plus mode. Camera angles recall late 1990s survival horror design.
shots. Could crack a safe. Could mark a date. Only one way to know.
Mouse PI for Hire is a first-person shooter with fast movement and constant combat, built around a noir detective theme. Players control private investigator Jack Pepper and move through hand-drawn black and white levels inspired by 1930s cartoons. Gameplay revolves around gunfights, boss encounters, and mobility actions like wall running, grappling, and double jumping. A wide set of cartoon weapons and consumable power-ups changes how fights are handled. Levels include investigation elements and collectible cases tied to the detective structure.
Well, well. Guess that just...
End of Abyss is a top-down sci-fi survival horror Metroidvania where players control Cell, a technician moving through a ruined underground compound. Gameplay uses twin-stick shooting for combat, with encounters designed around positioning and limited resources. Progress relies on a scanner tool that reveals hidden paths, detects threats, and supports puzzle solving. The map opens gradually, allowing access to new areas as abilities unlock. The setting remains industrial, damaged, and hostile throughout.
You can't turn back time, my star. It'll be different, but...
Dusk Fade is a 3D action-adventure where players control Zirian as he moves through time-altered environments to rescue his sister from a towering clock structure. Gameplay combines precise platforming and close-range combat, with actions like jumping, dashing, grappling, swinging, and gliding used to cross hazards and defeat enemies. A mechanical cuckoo assists during traversal and combat. Progress depends on mastering movement, timing, and chaining abilities while moving through varied themed areas under constant darkness. Grave Seasons is a narrative farming simulation set in the town of Ashen Ridge, where daily routines coexist with an active murder investigation. Players grow crops, fish, mine, and sell goods while gathering clues tied to recent killings. Progress depends on managing the farm, crafting protective items, and completing quests for townsfolk to build trust. Conversations, relationships, and romantic options influence outcomes, including identifying victims and suspects as events unfold over time within the town.
Someone must have been telling lies. Yet, this morning...
Militsioner is a first-person immersive sim where players try to escape a city while being constantly watched by a gigantic policeman. Gameplay allows multiple solutions to problems, including stealth, theft, dialogue, and social manipulation. Characters react through a mood system that changes behavior and access to options. Time moves independently for people, vehicles, and locations, affecting opportunities. Players can bargain, deceive, give gifts, break rules, or flee when discovered, with consequences shaping each attempt to leave the city.
He's here.
Into the Unwell is a third-person roguelite built around close-range combat and repeatable runs. Players choose from several characters with different traits and fight through shifting stages alone or in online co-op for up to 3 players. Combat uses heavy melee attacks, dodging, and timing, with unusual weapons that change playstyle. Progress comes from unlocking characters, collecting upgrades, and improving abilities between runs, while bosses and enemy patterns test coordination, positioning, and adaptation across each attempt.
Maybe it's too much for someone like you. Delusional. It won't always be so easy. You still look a little...
Drywall Eating Simulator is a first-person adventure built around physics-driven interaction and stress management. Players move through everyday spaces, talk with characters, and complete routine tasks that raise tension. Biting through walls is a core mechanic used to open paths, solve problems, and reduce stress levels. Movement, collision, and destruction systems control how walls break and how spaces connect. Progress comes from navigating social encounters and using wall breaking to cope and advance.
Hey, you up?
Cairn is a survival climbing game where players control Ava as she attempts to reach the summit of Mount Kami. Gameplay is built around realistic climbing mechanics, requiring careful hand and foot placement, balance control, and stamina management. Players can climb freely across rock faces, plan routes, place pitons, and manage supplies such as food, water, and medicine. Each ascent demands problem solving on the wall, with falls, fatigue, and limited resources shaping progress. I Nema is a psychological horror game where players try to convince a mother that they are her daughter. Gameplay is built around collecting words from objects in a basement setting and using them in conversations. Players combine discovered words in the mind to form meanings, unlock memories, and choose dialogue responses. Progress depends on selecting the right combinations to gain trust, pass tests, access new rooms, and piece together identity while navigating puzzles and confinement. Sea of Remnants is an ocean RPG where players control a memory-lost sailor traveling between shifting seas and a pirate city hub. Gameplay includes ship navigation, fleet building, and turn-based battles using recruited puppet folk crews. Players upgrade ships with parts and cannons, manage teams, and interact with factions that react to player actions. Orbtopia functions as a base for repairs, crafting gear, trading, and preparing crews for future voyages across changing ocean routes.
Just gotta share. Memories go, memories stay. We're chasing the sound of the waves. It always sways, it always strays. Standing on the beach all day. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Denshattack is an action-adventure game built around high-speed train movement and trick-based gameplay. Players control a gravity-defying train and perform flips, grinds, and aerial maneuvers to score points and maintain momentum. Levels are designed around timing, precision, and route control, while competing against rival trains and hostile forces. Progress comes from mastering trick systems, upgrading the train, and completing challenges across varied regions inspired by futuristic Japanese settings.
You say that about every place.
With insistence.
Animal Use Protocol is a first-person survival horror game where players control Pen, a highly intelligent chimpanzee trapped inside Anchorage Station. Gameplay centers on stealth, scavenging, and crafting, while avoiding constant threats. Players use environmental tools, including gravity manipulation, to solve problems and escape danger. Movement through the facility requires careful timing, quiet navigation, and resource management. A companion character assists during encounters, while progress comes from uncovering information, reaching new areas, and surviving pursuit in a hostile research complex.
You're sure this is the right way?
With indignation, pathfinding, very good. Better than smelly hate. Better than run, run, run. Paralyzed in terror. Smelly hate, run. Run, 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 run.
Love Eternal is a psychological horror platformer built around precise movement and gravity control. Players control Maya as she runs, jumps, and reverses gravity across tightly designed screens filled with traps, switches, and hazards. Progress depends on timing, spatial awareness, and mastering movement mechanics rather than combat. The castle layout presents escalating challenges that test execution and memory. Narrative elements are revealed gradually through environments and situations, linking mechanical difficulty with themes of confinement, control, and identity.